Tactical Itch here, and welcome. Alright, cool. Yeah, we should be live now. Cool. Hello, everyone. Tactical Itch here, and welcome back to another not Friday. Hold on, what am I thinking? Wednesday Faction Wars, hosted by yours truly here. And yeah, we'll be starting with round one game. It should be between Rogue Consultant here, versus Angel from the RTK clan, but I don't think Angel is responding to anything on Discord, so I don't know if he's online. But if he isn't, then Rogue Consultant will be automatically advancing into the next round, which is gonna be against us, and I'll be hopping from the spectator slot to team 2, and I go and duke it out with my opponent here if Rogue Consultant advance. But yeah, let's give it a couple more minutes and see if Angel comes up, because he might or might not. I'm not sure. Maybe he is a bit busy or just got some occupied in real life. So yeah, it's hard to know. But either ways, we are gonna give a little bit of a waiting time first instead of rushing straight in. But yeah, if we'll give them a couple more minutes, and if he doesn't show up, and we'll probably just have to proceed with the battles. And yeah, I am not quite sure what's happening here, but we'll give them some time. But yeah, hello everyone. For everyone inside in the stream right now, Natalie DiNardo, I assume you're a Barbagiani? Since you do mention the name, and yeah, I do recognize your name from the Discord. And welcome to the Night Crew Clan Discord. We do have a lot of weekly events hosted on the server. Tomorrow we have Tequila Sunset's Thursday Champions Brawl, which is more or less a single Lord tournament, which is kind of like Faction Wars, but instead of being able to switch between lords, you are stuck to one lord, and it's usually more casual, more memey and whatnot. And on Friday, it's a Friday night fight, so it is just a very typical land battles tournament. There are no rules in terms of like specific factions. You have the usual picks and bans, and then both players will try to have a more fair process of faction selection. But yeah, I'm just gonna quickly message Rogue Consultant and just let him know that if Angel doesn't show up for... Oh, Angel has responded. Alright, cool. Looks like Angel... okay, cool. It looks like Angel has responded. I think we can proceed with the Faction Wars soon. Alright, cool. Give me a second. Or actually, you know what? Okay, so Angel's actually busy. He's cooking his dinner, so I'm just gonna go and fight Rogue Consultant first. Alright, cool. I'm just gonna fight Rogue Consultant first, because I'm not gonna just wait for Angel. And, yeah, I mean, I'll still let Angel play in the game, but, wait, what? What do you mean, kick me? Oh, game full, okay. Never mind. Angel has showed up. He was cooking dinner, goddammit. I swear. Last week I was almost late because I was cooking my dinner, and this time we actually have somebody late because they're cooking dinner. Alright, cool, never mind. Looks like Angel has showed up to the battlefield now. They are gonna duke it out against Rogue Consultant with their Skaven army. Also, I am demanding Angel to send a dinner photo to the Discord as an apology for being late. I think we all deserve a little bit of a sneak peek on what did they make for dinner. As is the tradition on the Night Crew clan Discord. But yeah, I swear, like, the main reason of us being late is just, or maybe it's just any tournament related to me. If someone's late or about to be late, it is gonna be because of food. Last week I was 2 weeks ago I was almost late to Tequila Sunset tournament, just because I was roasting some ribs in the oven. And that was a good set of ribs, but yeah, I was demanded to post my food photos, dinner photos to my to the Discord channel, and yeah, very proud of those roast ribs though. Those were some good ribs. But yeah, now I feel like we need to make it as a tradition. If anyone's late because of food, they need to post photos of the food on the server. Yeah, and then like last week I was almost late to my own tournament. Not really, I was timing it really well, and I actually got like 10 minutes to spare after finishing dinner. But yeah, either ways, I was what was I making? I was making so much food I actually lost track of what I was making every week. Yeah. And let me just find the photos. Yeah. I think it's I was searing some salmon fillets. Salmon fillet. That was good too, but yeah, I wouldn't say that was my my proudest creation, but that was still a good slice of salmon regardless. Anyways, enough of chit-chatting. Here's the battlefield with Tyrion leading the High Elf army versus Skavens led by Ikit Claw, two very strong leaders of their own faction. Tyrion have superior martial power, being one of the most powerful duelists, one of the strongest duelists in the entire game, versus Ikit Claw, a very capable spellcaster, devastating spells, excuse me, and having a lot of good good abilities, especially AoE damage to damage archers, blobbed up spears and whatnot. So yeah, let's see what the battle will be here. Both players are deploying not so memey armies for sure. We can see a lot of War Lions though. War Lions theoretically are good against Skavens because they cause fear, and yeah, leading to earlier breaks off of the Skaven army or Skaven units. And we have okay, let's check out the army builds here. We have Doom and Darkness on the Mage of Death, yeah, plus the Fate of Buna to delete weapons teams, I believe, or something very elite like, say, the Storm Vermin. For the rest of the High Elf army here, front line of Rangers with the anti-infantry prowess, and then some spears as extra bodies on the flanks to provide some anti-large presence as well in case they have to deal with red ogres. And then 4 units of War Lions, one of them the Rahagra's Pride with the leadership debuff, and slow, but mostly for the leadership debuff, stacking up with the Doom and Darkness. That is a 24 leadership debuff and can really put a dent in the leadership of Skavens. Other than that, some Illyrian Reavers for some cheaper mobility, a couple archers. That's it for the main. Oh, actually, and also an Eagle Clawbolt Thrower to counteract any possible Skaven long-range firepower. Tyrion leading the army with Heart of Avalon, sorry. Sunfang, Feign and Repose, Stand Your Ground, and Foe Seeker. I think that's his full toolkit. So yeah, a very strong melee fighting power. Probably gonna try and stick Tyrion right next to Ikit Claw the entire game. For the rest of the Skaven army here on the other side, ooh, there's already some Vanguard deployed Wolf Rats on the far corner of the battlefield. A front line of Skaven Slave spears, couple Storm Vermin to guard the back line here, supplied with some Red Ogres. using their mass to pin down enemy mobility. For example, the War Lions and the Illyrian Reavers, 2 Poison Wind Globes to bombard the Rangers and Spears, and leading the army a Kick Claw on his hamster wheel with Cleansing Ruin, very standard stuff, unlimited power, and Brass Orb. That's it for the army builds. Now let's get the battle started. As and also there's an artillery unit here, the Warp Lightning Cannon to fire from afar at some crucial high elf targets. It's not that there are a lot of good targets within range right now, so they're just shooting at some loosely scattered rangers on the ground. Not the most efficient damage output, but they can probably start trying to shoot at the War Lions immediately, which are going to be a good target. Sure, the War Lions might have the missile resistance of 30% to tank some shots, but those shots still do insane damage, picking off 2 unit models right at the start of battle. But thankfully, War Lions aren't the most expensive mobility, so this is still an acceptable loss. Brass Orb onto the Rangers. Rangers have no choice but to eat it in the face and just keep advancing because they don't want to give the Skavens too much time to just keep firing. At the back there, the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers have been abandoned as the Wolf Rats just pounce onto them, and the High Elves decided to commit the mobility in the front line instead of trying to protect the back line. Mage of Death, unfortunately, being one of the prime targets of enemy damage, power, Cleansing Ruin onto the Mage of Death, and also Eagle Claw Bolt. Warp Lightning Cannon targeting her down. Oh, that's a lot of damage, and she is almost on the verge of death. Already routed away from the direct damage and the artillery combined, and that was a painful loss. Rangers into the front line, cleaving through those Skaven Slave Spears, but unfortunately that also makes them prone to the attacks from Poison Wind Globes, and 1 unit of Rangers pushed back. A Kick Claw, though, in a bit of a trouble since Tyrion is just sticking himself right behind a Kick Claw, so doing some pretty nice damage throughout melee and just keeping that melee pressure onto the Skaven leadership. Rangers trying to push into melee combat. Ragnaros Pride surrounding the Doom Flayers, doing some really good damage, but at the same time getting obliterated by the Poison Wind Globes. Rangers are moving in, but they will be targeted by the Poison Winds as well. This is not looking too good for the High Elves as their rush is slowly losing steam, and some Illyrian Reavers are forgotten at the far corners of the battlefield. Archers are moving into range and start peppering the Poison Wind Globes, but Poison Wind Globes having the 100 armor means that they are fairly durable against the non-armor piercing archer fire, and will be tanking those damage while dishing out damage in return with their explosive globes. Tyrion now stuck on Rat Ogres and Skaven Clan's Rat Spears, so he is not going anywhere anytime soon, as he seems to have trouble extracting himself from the battlefield, giving a Kick Claw and his hamster wheel plus the Doom Flayers free roam over the High Elf backline. I feel like that is about it for the rest of this High Elf army, as the Rangers are pretty much scattered to the winds. One regroup, but their push has faltered mostly as they're lacking really any melee power to keep pushing into the Skaven backline or even finish off the Storm Vermin. Without the Fate of Buna of the Death Mage possibly ran down by the enemy Wolf Rats. Yeah, this is rough. Oh, actually, yeah. No Death Mage to cast those Fate of Buna. I don't see how High Elves can finish off the Storm Vermin. And Illyrian Reavers as well finally being remembered as a tactical reserve. And the Wolf Rats will be caught up. I don't think the High Elf got a bad build. I just feel that they probably need to work on their micro a little bit. Perhaps after Angel is a very experienced player. So yeah, Wolf Rats and the Rangers and I think the main problem here is the War Lions. The War Lions jumped in from the front and just got stuck on the enemy's Skaven Slave Spears, exposing them to a bunch of Poison Wind Globe fire instead of getting into the backline and shut down those Warp Lightning Cannon and the Poison Wind Globes. Red Ogres, I think there are enough backline pressure with the Illyrian Reavers and the War Lions all pouncing into the backline. Perhaps they can shut down some of these Poison Wind Globes and whatnot, but from what we saw so far, allowing the Mage of Death to be caught by those Warp Lightning Cannon and blasted off was a pretty grave mistake, and unfortunately nothing was quite able to get through the Skaven front line and get into the back line here. Rangers, unfortunately, just not great. This Skaven army composition was already lucky for High Elves with this army. Yeah, not a lot of units to guard the back line. If the War Alliance took their time to circle around to the rear, they would have a much better time getting to the Poisoning Globes and the Warp Lightning Cannons, because the Skavens, having those Wolf Rats so far away from their formation, it's gonna take them some time to reinforce their back line. And the two Storm Vermins can't be everywhere, right? And if you can occupy the Red Ogres with some Illyrian Reavers, and then the War Lions can mostly be free to just charge into those Warp Lightning Cannons and Poisoning Globes, while silencing them while buying time for the Rangers to just cut through the Skaven Slave Spears. But yeah, GG to both players, and it seems that Angel is advancing into the next stage, which I'll be fighting him next. And yeah, I'll just quickly drop out. Yeah, that was from last Thursday. I was in the Single Lord tournament. Let me just quickly get the lobby up, and then yep, we good. Just add a spectator here, just because why the fuck not? If anyone wants to just drop in and check. But yeah, let me just quickly check what map are we on for today. The second round map is the Fey Fork. And I'll be playing as a mostly Slayer army. As for how much is mostly Slayer, we shall see. Oh shit! The last time I was playing this, I think I was designing a shitty dwarf army in a shitty army tournament I hosted, which is why you saw a bunch of Great Weapon Rangers and stuff. Anyways, let me just quickly figure out what to. They're Skavens. Oh wait, Skavens. Wait, hold the fuck up. This might be one time a Skaven, a Slayer Rush army might be good. This might be that one time. Okay, I need monstrous infantry, so yeah. Let's just pick 3 of these bad boys. And I need... Just get me a Rune Lord and and then I need like 4 Slayers or something like that. Yeah, just get me Slayers. And then Dragons? Yeah, let's just grab 2 no, let's grab a Garagrim. And then we can just delete most of his abilities. Yeah, I think we'll need I think we'll need that in case they're doing a Death Runner rush. Yeah, I'll just do that. And then turn everything off other than Worthy. I'm not gonna turn on Worthy Foe because they're not gonna bring terror. Yeah, I think I'll just get a very cheap Dragon Slayer and that should be it. Like, he has good enough melee stats to be a good fighter, bro. Yeah. I don't think that is needed that much, but yeah, I'll need the Worthy Foe and then Hearthlanome. And we don't really need immune to psychology, but a Vigor Refresh would be nice. Okay, Wrath and Ruin, and that's about it, I think. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's just get a Rune of Negation, just to add some variety to our spell kit. The Redman cometh. Oh, hey, Redman. Hello, human boy. How are you doing? Thanks for the raid. I really appreciate it every time. But yeah, right now I gotta focus on the fight a bit more first. I need to figure out a full Slayer army. That's the whole idea behind my yeah, you know what? I can go full Slayer. The question is Ungrim or Demon Slayer. Let's do Demon Slayer. Nobody ever uses him, so yeah, that would be nice. And yeah, anyways, for those of you just came, I am playing as a dwarves, and I'm supposed to just play a full Skaven army here. Alright, Foe Seeker is always nice. And I think I'm out of funds for stuff. Hold on. Garagrim, why are you so expensive? Oh, should I just bring Goat Trick? Never mind. Why are Slayers so expensive? Damn it. Fine. I'll just do this, and then I don't have enough money. Slayers are expensive. I don't want to bring 2 Slayer Pirates. Do I really have to bring Slayer Pirates? I don't want to bring Slayer Pirates. No. I don't. Alright, fine. I'll just bring 2 Dragon Slayers. Really cheap out on that one, and let's just. No, I can't. Okay, let's see if we can afford. I think you can bring 4 Slayers. Long drones are good, but I'm fighting Skavens. Who gives a damn about? Oh, fine. I'll bring. Fine. I'll bring long drones. And then another. Hold on. I need to check fruit rules. How many Slayers can I bring? Max. Give me a second. I need to load up the dwarf panel. Wait, I can bring 5 Slayers. Yes. Okay. This works. Of course, long drones is like. I'll bring 1 Slayer Pirate and like that. I can't afford long drones actually. Yeah, let's just do that and then get a worthy foe, maybe. This is. Alright, cool, fine. I can bring 5 Slayers, and then... Yeah, 1 Slayer Pirate just because I have the funds, and I don't have enough numbers. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. I can bring 1 more ability, and I don't think I'm gonna bring Worthy Foe, though. I'll just bring Foe Seeker, whatever. Let's go. Wait, no, I'll bring Worthy Foe in case... No Skavens would bring terror against dwarves. It's fine. We should be good. We're going Slayers. Yes. This is gonna be dumb. Gotta go Cadron colors. I always forgot to switch the. Yeah, I always forgot to switch those. Oh shit. I was thinking of whether to bring Goblin Healers, but that was dumb. But yeah, anyways. 50 gold unused? Man. I don't exactly have the most unit variety here when I can only bring Slayers. No, but yeah, but this is, for anyone who doesn't know, this is a faction war, so everyone picks a faction and play, right? But I specifically specified on challenge that I'm bringing mostly Slayers, so I'm stuck with Slayers today. Probably not gonna work, but if any matchup, if a Slayer build is gonna work in if the Slayer build is ever gonna work in a matchup, that has to be a Skaven matchup. I think, at least. I'm not entirely sure if it's true or not, but I think it would be a Skaven matchup in my imagination. Alright, let's just get those Vanguard deployment boys over there, and then I swear, if this is gonna be like a bunch of Death Runners, I'm absolutely fucked. Anyways, our triple Slayer character squad. Just saying good luck, have fun to my opponent. Here we go. We are ready, I think. Wait, what do I do with the long dongs? Yes. Long dong Slayer pirate. But yeah, let's go. No, it's a Skaven kite. No. Face me like true. Man, okay, these are Skavens. They don't face anything head on. Alright, let's go. No, why did you bring kite? I hate you. I don't even have like I don't even have any slow ability, so I'm just gonna get peppered to death. Oh, this is so bad. Oh no. One of the Slayers is already half dead. 2 Slayers are half dead already. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, and then there are a bunch of plague monks. Okay, they're designed to kill light armored infantry like damn Slayers. So yeah, I think I'm pretty damn fucked, to say the least. Oh no, Deathmaster Snitch is coming in with the Beyblade. Oh. Alright, let's see how much we can do here. We probably can't do much, but yeah. The Slayers are so fucked. Alright, cool. Let's just wrap around and see what happens. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, the Slayers are getting slaughtered. They're getting their Slayers fulfilled. No. Yeah, no, I had no choice. I had no choice but to die here. Oh, this is so bad. I mean, I killed one Death Runner. These guys are dying, so not much to say about them. How much damage? Yeah, pretty good damage on Snitch. Alright, somehow these guys actually beat up the Plague Monks. Oh, that's because long dongs are coming in to help out. Okay, that makes sense. Anyways, let's just send some right, our almost dead Doomseekers are continuing to push. Yeah, let's turn on this off. Get some bigger refresh and kill this character here. You guys keep pushing. You guys try and surround Deathmaster Kitchen and kill him. Again, I don't really have much of a choice here other than to just keep pushing. I mean, they're getting work done. Don't get me wrong, but they're not actually efficiently getting work done. All right, let's go. All right, can you guys kill him, please? Oh man, he's just dodging. All right, god damn it. All right, let's just break them. Break them. All right, you guys go and kill this guy, and you guys keep pushing. Just keep pushing. I don't really have a choice here other than to just keep pushing. These guys are almost dead, and these guys are also on the verge of death. You guys can keep charging it. Alright, surround the Snickage and try to beat him up a bit, and then getting shot at the back. That's great. That's great. That's exactly how a Slayer should die, right? These are Doomseekers. Okay. These Doomseekers are just fighting to death to some Death Runners. So, yep. This is even worse than just a Death Runner rush. This is a Death Runner plus a rush plus a Night Runner kite. I have nothing against this. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh. God damn. Alright, just charge them, and yeah, they're almost all dead at this point. Brotherhood of Grimnir did some good damage, but also getting shot to death by all the kite. And yeah, that is a rip. I mean, I didn't expect to win anyways, but yeah, this is rough to say the least. All right, yeah. All right, let's just witness the death of the Slayers, and finally I get to use this for once. Just keep this one single Brotherhood of Grimnir in the fight. Wait, actually there, yeah, one only. Okay, a lot of damage from, wait, yeah, okay. There are 2 Brotherhood of Grimnir left in here. Alright, just keeping them in there with the cannot die thing, and everyone just getting Cleansing Ruin, and we're still fighting because we are Slayers, we do not break. Okay, these guys are going after Snitch. will Snitch run, or will he take the fight like a true Skaven man? And he just slaps both of the Slayers. One of them is... Wait, shit, they survived the hit! What the fuck? They survived that hit? Oh my god. No! Where are you going, Snitch? Stop running! Stop running like coward. Oh, fine, I'll just have to do it. Right, spin! Oh no, one of them died, two of them died. Rip. Alright, we still have a few of these Long Dong Slayer pirates left, and Snitch is coming in. I don't know what he's trying to do here. I guess trying to assassinate one of my characters, but I will get some more characters coming in and he'll have to run. Snitch might be winning, but he still doesn't want to tangle with these multiple Slayer characters who will fight to their death, very literally. But yeah, I don't think we can put this back. Hope that doesn't fulfill your Slayer. Oh, Lord, lose faster so you can win. Man, I wanna fight them in melee, but Snitch doesn't want to fight me in melee. I couldn't fight faster. Also, there's only like skirmish units left around the field, so not the most efficient in killing characters. You can only send a bunch of death squad to me, but these Slayers will have to fight to their death. I'm not quitting from this fight. This is not a Slayer wave. You die or you win. And since I'm not winning, I'm waiting for them to kind of die, really. Alright, cool. Let's just spread them out, and so my opponent have an easier time to take them down, really. Like, we gotta speed this up a bit, but yeah. Alright, let's turn off the attack on this. Nuke the attack of Snitch and see what happens here. Yay, we charge. Come on, something fight me in melee, please. Coward Skavens! Coward Skavens! Okay, I don't want to be in the blood when it comes. Alright, cool, okay. Can we turn it? Oh no, I didn't turn it on in time, no! God damn it, I was late. That was not good, but anyways. We need to avenge for some of our Slayer brothers. Wait, does Glorious Death... What is the range of Glorious Death? 55 meters. Okay, so that's not that long. Slayers all died equals to that we win. The vermin were helpless against your cunning strategy. Yeah, absolutely. They have met their goal, and that is to meet the... okay, the Glorious Death is still on. He's still fighting, doing some good damage, but yeah, no. Against a kite army, a Slayer army cannot win like that. No. Slayer Death. And GG to my opponent, Angel, who is going to advance to the semi-finals, I believe. I don't really have much of a choice here other than to just try and catch up with Skavens, but even then, the Brotherhood of Grimnir, I think almost yeah, they almost earned back their value. Same goes for the Doomseekers, because they're just a very good unit against Skaven. It's just the rest of the army just got kited to death. But yeah, GG to my opponent here, a very well designed anti-Slayer army, and also anti-Dwarf in general. Like, if you cut out the Night Runners and whatnot and turn them into something like, say, yeah, if you cut out the skirmishing element and turn them into Jezzails, that would be just a typical... Oh, and also cut out the Plague Monks and turn them into more Night Runners, to Death Runners. And then you have a typical, you have a more typical anti-Dwarf build, but nobody really plays the Dwarf versus Skaven matchup anymore. Because it is not the most fun matchup against, not the most fun matchup by the... for the dwarfs anyway, so yeah. Anyways, too long drone lived to tell the tale? Nah, they all died, really. Slayer oaths will be fulfilled, and they fulfilled it indeed. It can be dangerous to announce Slayers ahead. yeah, it's fine, I did that, and I expected a risk. And most importantly, I can now start casting games of other players. Wait, what? Discord? Why are you not sending? Okay, cool. Do they have a spectator slot? Yes, they do. I'll jump in. and then turn on the blocker. Yes, seems like okay. Good thing I didn't win, because otherwise I'll be fighting against Borain again, and I'm pretty sure none of you are aware, but what happened last week was I was fighting Borain 3 freaking days in a row. I was fighting him on Wednesday in a faction wars. I think that was Greenskin versus Chaos Dwarves, and then on Thursday I got to the finals on Tequila Sunset single Lord tournament. Guess who's there? Also Borain, and guess what? He's playing Chaos Dwarf as well, and I was also playing Greenskin, so it was once again a Greenskin versus Chaos Dwarf rematch. And then on Friday, we both joined Friday night fights of Tequila Sunset as well. And guess what? We literally got matched in the first round of the entire tournament. So I was literally fighting him for 3 days in a row. And I'm kind of glad I didn't win that one. Otherwise, I'll be fighting him like 4 events in a row. So yeah, anyways, right now we are looking at a Skaven versus Nurgle battle, and it seems, I would say Skaven might have the advantage here with their abundance of missile, and Nurgle just being relatively weak to missiles instead. But of course, Nurgle can still have some very effective units against the Skaven army. For example, Skavens are rather weak to super duper elite low entity model count units, which is most monstrous infantry units, like say Trolls, Chaos Spawn, especially Chaos Spawn, due to their unbreakable nature and good damage dealing power to quickly punch through the Skaven chaff front line. But yeah, personally I love using 2 units against the Skaven army, which are one, the Doomseekers, which we just saw, still managed to get some pretty solid valor despite being kited to death. And 2 aspiring champions, but of course Nurgle don't have that. Nurgle doesn't have aspiring champions, so they'll have to figure something else out. But they do have Bio Trolls and Chaos Spawn, so perhaps we'll see them in this battle. Oh, looks like we do have some Chaos Spawns on the field, plus 3 Plague Toads, 4 Chaos Warhounds with poison, 5 regular Marauders, 2 Nurglings, and 1 Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle with their, I believe, the Crown of Everlasting Conquest. Crown of Everlasting Conquest for the passive heal will be there to counteract any direct damage from the Flensing Ruin of a Kick Claw. Anyways, Angel going for a Kick Claw again, I believe, but I didn't really check what else did he bring. I assume a bunch of missiles, but we gotta check. At least we didn't play Chaos Dwarf versus Greenskins on Friday. That is true, that is true. I'm glad we didn't go through that ordeal again. Otherwise, that would be like 5 straight battles between you and me. With Chaos Dwarfs and Greenskins. But I don't assume you're still listening to the stream since you're playing, but yeah. Acidic Devil Dog Slayers all died equals to Dowie win. Yep, that is indeed. Yeah. Anyways, now for the units on the Skaven side. Oh, actually, let's check what Nurgle brought for spells. Rancid Visitations for the direct damage against a Kick Claw. That would be very effective with the solid direct damage. And Skavens don't have the healing to overcome that. On the other side, for the Skaven army, a couple of missile units here. Night Runners. Oh, this map does not like artillery at all with the vegetation in the middle of the map, blocking a lot of line of sight for artillery. So I guess that's why Skavens didn't bring that many regular artillery. Instead, just brought like a single high arcing avalanche mortar to shoot across and above the tree line. Now, for the rest of the battlefield here, we have Night Runners with slingshots. They do have more ammo than their regular Night Runner cousins, so they will be a more consistent damage output, but they do need to reposition themselves every time they fire, or at least every time they move after fire, because they don't have 360 shooting. So yeah, a little bit of a give and take there. You gain some, you lose some. Now for the Skaven main army build, we have Skaven slaves in the front line there. One of them, a regular Skaven slaves, I assume they ran out of money. Kalan Vulcan Tail Slasher for the fire damage to limit the Nurgle heal. Avalanche Mortars to nuke enemy infantry, especially if there are any elites. a line of clan rat spears at the back, supported by some rat ogres. There is some Natty Bull's sharpshooter, though I don't know how effective they're gonna be on this map specifically. And yeah, and especially when there's such a wide front line from the other side of the battlefield. Like, they literally span across the entire map. Oh, the Nurglings and Warhounds are in Vanguard deployed as well, ready to pounce on any possible Skaven backline. Avalanche Mortars doing what they do best, and that is deleting infantry entirely before they can even collide into melee. Ikiclaw also pushing up and dropping the Brass Orb to nuke some poor Marauders of Nurgle. There's also the Thing on the battlefield, ready to chomp some monsters. Being the only decent anti-monster unit of the Skaven army, having like anti-large and whatnot. But yeah, over here Natty Buboes are quickly shooting up the Plague Toads of Nurgle, but I don't think they shoot it quick enough. Remember, Natty Buboes and other Warp Lockjaw cells, despite using Warp Stone ammo, they don't have magic damage, and that means they are, they're mitigated partially by those physical resistance of Plague Toads. Warhounds are jumping onto the Natty Bubo's sharpshooter, but the Natty Bubo sharpshooter wouldn't immediately die due to their 70 armor, helping them survive a bit while Red Ogres come in to reinforce. But the front line of Skavens are buckling a bit. A lot of the units are retreating, especially the Slingers, and the Natty Bubos once again compromised by a second unit of Warhounds. They have taken some damage, and there's not a lot of safe space for them to keep firing. Over here, Clan Vulcan Tail Slasher are holding the line. Being a regiment of renowned Skaven unit, they do have slightly better leadership, and on top of that, Flensing Ruin trying to delete those Plague Toads, do as much damage as possible to a horde of enemy units. However, the spawns of Nurgle are making good progress over here. Plague Toads still being munched up by the Thing. Now Thing going after some other units on the side. Red Ogres managed to stop the push of the Chaos Warhounds, but this huge blob in the middle is slowly breaking through the Nurgle units, now intruding into the backline of the Skavens, but balance of power is in favor of the Skaven army, as they have mostly dealt with the enemy chaff. A little bit of a stuttering there, but yeah, the monstrous push is still going on right now, and unfortunately for the Nurgle army, the Plague Toads are running low in health as they're taking more and more damage. They are actually still a rather fragile unit. Being a demon, they don't have much armor, so being swarmed by anti-large on all these climber spears, they will still take attrition, and especially when there's still a self-healing monster, the regiment of renowned Hellpit Abomination, munching those Nurgle monsters. Chaos Spawns are in the backline now, driving back a ton of the Skaven units, but yeah, the main problem is how is Nurgle going to finish off the Thing? I don't see any good solutions here. Rancid Visitations consistently being cast on to Ikiclaw, trying to just work down the health of the Skaven Lord, but it's gonna take time, but time isn't exactly on Nurgle's side, as their monstrous units are slowly but surely being worn down by the sheer amount of Skaven bodies. Netrunners are also chucking in those slingshots to chip away at the lightly armored Nurgle monsters. Thing is in here and start feasting on some Nurgle demons and also flesh things, the spawns. Red Ogre is holding on just fine. They don't really have that much pressure to deal with, since all they need to beat back are those few units of Warhounds, which is rather easy for them. The Chaos Sorcerer Lord perhaps should try to fight a Ikiclaw, but seems like he has some other ideas right now, trying to push back the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. One problem with Nurgle right now is that their army ability charging is just so very slow. Even with army-wide poison to constantly debuff enemy units, they still don't exactly get out their healing in time. But finally, a fecundity from the army passive, from the army ability, healing up the spawns and just spawns and nearby Plague Toads, but just a little bit of healing, nothing too insane here. And a good thing that the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers have been pushed back, so there's no fire damage to hinder their healing, but even then, things are still not looking too hot for the Nurgle army, as their balance of power is still slightly in a disadvantage. But good news is that Ikiclaw is taking more and more damage from the Rancid Visitations. Once again, Skavens don't have that ability to counteract enemy casting. Ooh, is that an overcast? Oh, Flensing Ruin, and that did some overcast damage onto a Claw himself, and actually bursted his HP down, and combined with the Rancid Visitations, that was enough to destroy a kid's hamster whale in a nuclear reaction, giving us a little bit of a not translucent, not transparent. Giving that warpstone glow a mushroom cloud. Either ways, the thing is still rampaging through these poor plague toads, and it is regenerating, so it is still holding the line. But the rest of the Skavens not so much. Losing the Lords put a huge dent in their leadership, and Red Ogres, Climb Vulcans, Tail Slashers, all the units that are remaining are slowly but surely wavering from the Nurgle army presence. Perhaps the Night Runners can do some more chip damage against the spawns, and the Clan Rat Spears are reinforcing the thing who was standing alone against all of these Nurgle monsters. But seems like things are looking quite nicely. Things are looking up for the Nurgle army for sure, as they are now surrounding the thing. But this is still going to be a tough fight. The thing is a ferocious monster, and on top of that, there are some slingers providing the last bit of fire support that Skavens can afford, chipping away at some health from the spawns of Nurgle here. As the Clan Rat Spears are also outputting some anti-large damage. Marauders of Nurgle are desperately needed here to deal with the Clan Rats before those spawns get sniped out by the thing. But here comes the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle to push back the Skaven skirmishers. Yeah, it is pretty much down to this blob fight right now. Whether the thing can carry this against all the spawns, or will the Nurgle army prevail with their sheer amount of mutated, tenacious wall of flesh. All these spawns of Nurgle, the great thing about spawns is really they are unbreakable. They don't have much armor piercing, but against a Skaven army, this is not usually the problem. They don't have much armor to tank damage anyways, and the spawns are doing some really good damage against both the Skaven infantry and the thing itself. But yeah, looks like the Nurgle units are dealing with the Night Runners at the back here, pushing them back with the Nurglings, and over here, Nurgle units are on a bit of a mass chain route, as the Marauders can't really stand in front of the terror of the Clan Boulder Beastie. Alright, let me just quickly turn on my phone. Spawns are surrounding the thing here, but the thing's regeneration is keeping it in the fight. It's not great, as the HP is still dropping for the thing, but it is still better than nothing. A heal cap is in sight, so yeah, things are definitely not looking up for the Skaven army. In contrast to Ikit Claw's lack of healing, which cannot counteract enemy direct damage spells, well, Nurgle does have very nice healing for their Sorcerer Lord, the Crown of Everlasting Conquest, providing that 0.2% regen per second, and that is enough to just keep the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle nice and healthy, even after all those Cleansing Ruin coming in against him. And yeah, now at this point, with the unbreakable anchor of the spawn of Nurgle pinning down on the thing in a fight, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle is free to cycle charge with the Filth Mace, applying that base weapon damage boost, and also corroded armor for another minus 30 armor to reduce that thing's meager armor to 20, and that shall be the victory for the Nurgle. Ah shit, I want to save the battle, but I will. Let me quickly change up Nurgle versus Skaven. Yeah, there we go. GG to both players, GG to both Borain and Angel here. We do have a bit of an army performance. As you can see here, spawns are just really good against Skavens. They're unbreakables, and they are a monstrous infantry, which means Skavens don't really exactly have the best types of units to deal with them. Skavens do have spears, but, well, these are just clan rats, and yeah, usually they only have clan rats and Skaven slaves in the front line, which will immediately break once they take a, like, once the spawn starts looking at them funny, and the Marauder starts jumping into the fight. So they couldn't really hold against a monster infantry rush like that. And just quickly buckles under the sheer weight of the Nurgle melee units. Plague Toads of Nurgle, though, they are rarely worth it, I would say, but it's still just a nice monstrous unit with slightly faster mobility than your Nurgle infantry to quickly rush down the enemy infantry, get into the backline, and shut down those Skaven shooting. And then, yeah, very good game. A very nice use of the Rancid Visitations, just constantly draining away the health of a Kick Claw. And in this battle, perhaps a Lord or a Lord that is riding a Brute Horror might be a slightly better choice here, since Brute Horrors do have that regeneration to counteract enemy spellcasting, counteract enemy Rancid Visitations. But the problem is the Skaven spellcasters are never, they don't really have any regeneration, so they will still, like, they can still get targeted by those direct damage spells and get drained to death. But maybe perhaps a Plague Bell, some Skaven character on a Plague Bell, like Skaven caster on one of their Plague Bells would be way better. But yeah, that is it for this battle here. We'll be moving on to the finals between Borain, congratulations for their victory here, and Borain and someone else. And let me just check. Let me just quickly check who is on the other side of... Oh, shit. Oh, I forgot to submit scores on challenge, so, Tequila Sunset getting into finals. Yeah, let me just quickly submit my scores. Submit the scores, and yep, that in the finals, that would be Tequila Sunset versus Borain. Nurgle versus Grand Cathay. That is gonna be a rough matchup for Borain for sure. And then, yeah. Nope, actually, nope. It was a mistake in reporting scores. Incarns won against Grand Cathay. Oh, goddammit. Let's see. Why does... Oh, Verify went. Okay, cool. Incarns won. Yep, cool. Alright, Incarns actually is the finalist here. Vampire Coast versus Borain. They do need to change maps, though. No, we're not playing on Blasted Lands anymore. We are on Shrutsofen. I just hope that the lighting don't screw with us this time and give us a little bit more daylight. Sometimes maps just have horrible lighting and you can't see crap on the maps, but hopefully this is not the one. Either ways, but yeah, for those of you who don't know, Tequila Sunset, just a very nice streamer and content creator of Total Warhammer, and he does a lot of, he actually does way more tournament streams than me. He does it like 3 times a week, I think, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. So do go ahead and I know he's not in the finals right now because Incarns won, but still, since we already mentioned Tequila Sunset, we're just gonna give him a little plug here. Yeah, just go ahead and subscribe to his channel. He does really good content, so yeah, check out his multiplayer tournament streams. I'm gonna join. I've hopefully. Oh wait, no, I don't think I can join tomorrow, but hopefully I can join one of his tournaments later this week, and get some more multiplayer games going. I'm pretty much only play exclusively in tournaments these days. Because I'm still waiting for the goddamn Thunderbarge to get fixed. Or at least get balanced to a point that it's not an annoyance to play against. Because everyone is just spamming Thunderbarge on multiplayer these days, and it's not fun, unfortunately. But yeah, I can probably try to figure out some way to take down Thunderbarge. Actually, that would be a good video idea. I'm gonna try that at some point. But yeah, either ways, we are gonna get our first battle of the best of 3 started in the finals. Now, for those of you who watched this Faction Wars format the first time, this will be a best of 3 series, but players, the one special rule is that players cannot use the same Lord in every battle. So, for example, if you use Vampire Fleet Admiral, next time in next battle, you can't bring a Vampire Fleet Admiral. Even if they're using a different Lord of Magic. Nope, you're not gonna use it. Instead, you have to use something else. For example, say Count Noxless or Luther Harkorn. And on this side here, Chaos Lord of Nurgle. So no Chaos Lord of Nurgle in next battle, and it will have to be a different Chaos character of Nurgle leading the army. Anyways, for the army built here, for the Nurgle army here, Chaos Lord leading the army supported by a Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle with Blight, Boil, and Stream of Corruption. 2 very nice AoE damage spells to break down the zombie chaff front line. A front line of Chaos Warriors of Nurgle and Nurglings. Plus a Chosen of Nurgle. Damn, that is Chosen of Nurgle with great weapons. That is going super elite. Possibly expecting some crabs on the Vampire Coast side. Nurglings, Vanguard deployed, and a few units of Chaos Warhounds leading the army. We talked about that. oh, 1 Chaos Chariots of Nurgle. Oh god, we rarely see them. On any battlefield, really. Just chariots in general. But yeah, for the other side of the battlefield there, Vampire deckhand mobs on the front line, second line of bomber mobs, third line of missiles, AP ones, 2 handgunners and 1 deck gunners, plus a carronade, 1 hand cannons at the very far back, in case they need to burst down some high health monsters, I believe. Of course, Lamprey's Revenge, and then Animated Hulks for monstrous presence, more Rotting Prometheans, so 2 crab units to guard the back line, alongside 2 hand cannons, really sealing off those backline intrusion angles. So if any units got stuck on the Rotting Prometheans, the hand cannons can just fire in and shut them down. Anyways, carronades will be opening fire. There's only 1 carronade, so it shouldn't be... 2 Chosens of Nurgles on the flank, actually. That is some very expensive investment on elite infantry. Let me just quickly check. Maybe Chieftain is good versus Rancid Visitations. Chieftain, you wouldn't really want to Rancid Visitation the Chieftain because he doesn't have that much impact on the battlefield. You want to Rancid Visitation a caster of the Skaven, since Skaven's casters have a small HP pool and they don't heal. Anyways, the Chaos front line is taking some pounding from the Vampire Red firepower. Bombers are moving up ready to just nuke down the Nurglings with their explosions. Animated Hulks are jumping in the front line, trying to push back the Nurglings, but that might open up a gap in the defenses, allowing Warhounds to just jump right in against those handgun mobs. That is not the cheapest mistake, but with the crabs nearby, they should be able to hold. But that is if the crabs are actually coming in. The crabs seems to have dropped their attacking order there. On the front line, the Nurglings and Marauders are getting blasted by bombers, though the zombie deckhand mobs are kind of faltering as well, as they're taking more damage. But Warhounds are jumping in from all angles, trying to disrupt those handgun mobs. But I feel like the prime target are definitely those bombers. You want to shut down the bombers, not really the handguns. But handguns, of course, still do good damage against Chosen and whatnot, so you want them gone at some point too. Oh, finally, Chariots is going in, but they're getting blasted point blank by all those hand cannons. 1/3 of their HP directly nuked out of existence because of the hand cannons from a volley of them. Yeah, things are not looking too good for the Chariots. I mean, they're in the backline doing some disruption and whatnot, but yeah, the back line here, hand cannons are secured, once again able to fire back. Poison warhounds are jumping into the front line, jumping into the fight once more to silence those hand guns. But yeah, the chariot just got nuked out of existence. Stream of Corruption here, doing some nice damage against the hand cannon mob. A little bit of a mistimed tight call, missing those warhounds barely, but yeah, those warhounds still got routed by the presence of the pistol crap. Plus the Lamprey's Revenge are nearby. Just keep applying those missile pressure onto nearby units. Chosen of Nurgle though, they're tenacious as always, hacking down those animated hulks. The problem is hand cannons are still alive. Oop. Looks like, oh no, this is not great. Hand cannons, quite a few of them are blocked by their own comrades, unable to get a line of sight onto the Chosen. So that is a lot of DPS missed out on the hand cannons, very unfortunately. But yeah, the Nurgle army Bahrain here is doing a very effective push so far, just exploiting the gaps on the opponent's defenses and disrupt their backline shooting, just keeping that pressure on to the missile units, and eventually the Chaos Warriors and the Chosen will get through the zombie front line, and that is when the real pressure on the zombie pirate Vampire Coast missiles is going to come through, as now the hand cannons, the handguns are losing their protection here. Bomber mobs are out of ammo, just buying more time for the backline to shoot, but yeah, the Vampire Coast are running out of defenses. Chosens of Nurgle are trying to intrude in the backline now, forcing those hand cannons and handguns to pull back, and forcing the Vampire Coast to drop a Rotting Promethean summon in response and try and pin down the Chosen, to buy some more time for the hand cannons to perhaps turn back and start nuking down the Chosen. Wait, what are you doing, hand cannons? Start turning around and start shooting at the Chosen. No! Where are you running? No! Oh no. Anyways, over here, Carronades and Deck Gunners combine fire onto the Nurgle Sorcerer, actually managed to rout it off. And also hand cannons are now free to just keep firing at this Nurgle character and make sure it doesn't come back. If they fire another volley, oh, never mind, yeah. They just have enough DPS to just straight up shoot up the poor Sorcerer Lord, and yeah, that might be it for the Nurgle army. The Nurgle Lord is getting routed by the handguns, and yeah, the hand cannons are just a little bit too strong for the Chosen right now, taking way too much damage. Hand cannons, how much damage are they getting? Yeah, they're getting way more than, I think they're getting more than their cost actually. No, not this one. This one did, and there's just a lot of missile pressure for Lamprey's Revenge getting, as always, being a very effective unit. But yeah, as always, missile spams are the bane of Nurgle. Same goes for this time, as their infantry push is slowly faltering. Fecundity is keeping some of their elite infantry alive, but the hand cannons and handguns might just be a bit too much here, especially when Nurgle no longer has any missile presence or magic presence to deal with those handguns. Lamprey's Revenge are still fighting in the vicinity, especially almost full health actually, but once they start making contact with the Chosen of Nurgle, they will start feeling the pain of an elite melee infantry. Not that it matters, since the Nurgle army is running out of steam, their infantry faltered, and that shall be the victory of Vampire Coast. Very good game from both players here. Great push from Bahrain, but also very nice, solid defense from the Vampire Coast, using the Vampire Bomber mobs to soften up those Nurgle front line, and then the backline, a great job defending the backline as well, sending crabs to deal with the enemy hounds, and just cross-firing with the hand cannons and hand guns. Also, I think one very important bit of the Vampire Coast army is their formation of deployment. They're actually using the hand cannons as a bit of a meat shield for the Carronade. Like, to get to the Carronade, you need to go through the hand cannons first, so forcing the opponent to jump on the hand cannons. But hand cannons having their insane DPS means that even if a unit is charging the hand cannons, they'll still take a ton of damage from the Overwatch fire on their way charging in. So yeah, that was a bit of a painful uphill battle against the hand cannons back there. Every unit they sent into those missile units, those hand cannons, suffered quite heavy losses. This one getting 1,200 gold. My god. Definitely doing some solid heavy lifting for the Vampire Coast army here, while Tidecore doing some nice chip damage to the Nurglings and the lightly armored Marauders, but overall really Lamprey's Revenge carrying the game. Carney's getting their value back. That is what I'm kind of surprised at, because like usually you would see enemy like Carronates not really earning back their value because they're usually the first one being targeted by enemy mobility and whatnot and getting disrupted before they can earn back their value. But this time with the hand cannons acting as like an outer wall of the Carronate box, the Chaos Warhounds simply were unable to get to the Carronate, and then the crabs and handguns and whatnot managed to dispatch the hounds, giving the Carronate a safe space to fire. And yeah, Lamprey's Revenge getting solid value, but overall really just this one hand cannon and the Vampire Fleet Admiral and the Carronate plus Lamprey Revenge carrying the game. For the Nurgle army, Chosen, they tried to push, but they couldn't really earn back their value due to all the AP fire aiming at them. I feel like definitely the Chaos Chariots, it was a mistake. Perhaps a couple, like perhaps cut the Chosens and then cut the Chariots and then just spam a bunch of Furies and get some more Marauders and more maybe even Forsaken. That would have been a better bet. But yeah, that is it for this first battle. We are just gonna up the screen blocker again, and we'll be going for a second one. And also I need to turn on the scoreboard. Give me a second. On the left, we have Borain here, scoring 1 point in this best of 3. And then on the right side, we have Incons, who has nothing so far. Warlord, all of the moves, Warlord, maybe Warlord, yeah, Warlord would definitely be better against Rancid Visitations, but the main issue is really how to protect the Spellcaster from Rancid Visitations, and for Skaven, the answer is almost none, I think. So that is the main problem here. But yeah. Let us chill a bit here as Nurgle. This is going to be Nurgle versus Vampire Coast round 2. We might see other units here, as for sure the Nurgle army and both the Incons, the Vampire Coast army, both have to switch different lords. And let's unveil the lord choices. On the Nurgle side, we have definitely a meta lord here. The Nurgle Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle with Crown of Everlasting Conquest for that self-healing. On the right side, my favorite Vampire Coast character, Aranessa Saltspite. Oh, I do miss playing with Aranessa and her Sartosa companies back in the day. That was quite funny. Just going melee rush with those Sartosa militia and Sartosa companies. But alas, those were the days, and we can't bring them because they're no longer an available unit in multiplayer. They are a campaign-only unit now, so I'm quite sad about it. But yeah, either ways, let's go through the army builds here. For Nurgle, similar kind of melee rush wide frontline, but this time going less elite, but well, less elite on the higher end side, but definitely more elite than just your typical Marauders. We have a Pesticle spam, which makes sense as they do have that missile resistance of 25% to mitigate any incoming damage from handguns, pistols, bombs, and whatnot. So that would be really nice. Frolickers Bubonic plus another unit of Nurglings, two more units of Nurglings, and in disguise, finally we got some Furies for the aerial disruption. Vanguard deployed, scatter all over the enemy backline. Two more Chaos Warhounds, and yeah. And ooh, what do we have here? Plague Ogres, Plogers. I haven't seen them in a while. These Plogers are hidden in the forest now. Plogers, the Plogers are here. Yeah, big, fat, smelly. That's like pretty much usual ogres, but sick, I guess. But yeah, other than that, we have any more mobility? Nope, just just 2 Plogers, a ton of Vanguard units, and a very wide front line. On the other side for Vampire Coast, a front line of deckhand mobs and a second line of handguns. And a Queen Bess. Oh, Queen Bess against the Vanguard army. This is going to be painful. Carronades and Dev God Pro Arms plus 2 Animated Hulks and Lamprey's Revenge guarding. Oh, more Animated Hulks. 3 Animated Hulks in total, and yeah, guarding on those very expensive artillery units. Pesticles are charging in. The Frolickers Bubonic got hit by a bit of a Queen Bess shot. Took some damage, but they keep pushing on. Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs are trying to hold back that Vanguard push off the Nurgle army. But here comes another Queen Bess shot. This time doing pretty much solely friendly fire. Very unfortunate there. And Animated Hulks and Dev God, what are you doing? They are getting a bit out of position. Oh, they're targeting a Chaos Warhound that got close, but the Chaos Warhound retreated and they got lured out of position. And because it seems that Incon's, yeah, it seems that wait, hold on, wait. Bahrain didn't get a win. Bahrain, I'll switch it back later. But yeah, it seems that Incon's attention is elsewhere and didn't pull back those defensive units back in time. And now the whole backline is compromised by Furies, disrupting the Carronades and Queen Bess as well. Though the Lamprey's Revenge is here for the rescue, beating back those, yeah. Beating back those Chaos Furies. And then, yeah. Alright, looks like, yeah, looks like the first layer of the zombie Takamos is mostly dealt with. Oh, looks like the Frolickers Bubonic is no more. Finished off by Queen Bess shot. But yeah, the Nurgle army is pushing hard. Though it seems that balance of power is indeed in the favor of Vampire Coast once again. Which is kind of weird when you see so many... Oh, that's why. Queen Bess is still online and still shooting. But, yeah, right now, the Dev Gods and the Animated Hulks are back. But the problem is... okay, they're saving Queen Bess. And Queen Bess is firing at the Plogers, but the Plogers don't give a damn about that. So they just keep pushing on. But, yeah, I don't know how... I don't know how Nurgle can deal with the Death Gods, really. That is going to be a rough one. But I guess Stream of Corruption spam, that is their best choice here. But yeah, with so many Animated Hulks and the Lamprey's Revenge nearby, those Plogers are going to be really important in this kind of late game scenario. They are so anti-large on the Nurgle army. And they got a lot of monsters to kill. Not when they're fighting on top of a Death Guard. No, please don't. You do pull back, Plogers. What are you doing? No. Oh no, they're going in. They're going in balls deep against multiple Animated Hulks and a Death God. And very nice micro from Incons there, just shifting. I don't know if it's intentional, but that shifted the Death Guard's formation a bit and makes them less lined up to get hit by the Stream of Corruption. But yeah, oof, that was a... This is going to be painful to Plogers. I guess I just hope the Nurgle healing is coming in good for them. To keep them alive, but looks like the Death Gods are putting the pain on the Plogers as they're now taking losses. Yeah, Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle, a fecundity on himself. Oh, probably a fecundity into the entire blob that spreads into him as well. Getting some really nice heal, and he is fighting in the mix as well. So yeah, outputting some pretty good damage. The Queen Bess crew is still online for some reason. No. Yeah, the Queen Bess crew is still around, but they're not firing now as they're disrupted in melee combat. Death Gods are taking some losses. Aranessa and the Vampire Fleet Captain of Deep are both surrounded. What is the Deep Captain? Vanguard's Revenge. Oh, okay, they're expecting an elite melee infantry line, but unfortunately nothing of that is coming in, so there's no spells for... Yeah, there are no spells for the Vampire Fleet Captain to use, and that is a massive waste of magic, unfortunately. Perhaps should have brought a Tide Core alongside the Vanguard's Revenge as well. Because right now all you can nuke are some Nurglings and Pesticles. I guess better than nothing. So maybe we shall see a Vanguard's Revenge. Or maybe they have used it already and I missed it. Not sure, but either way. Oh, here comes the Vanguard's Revenge. Here comes the Vanguard's Revenge onto the Plogers, the double Nurglings, and even the Pesticles as well. Alright, it comes in and it also nuked those Pesticles behind and obliterated that unit who are in a more narrow formation and actually walked straight into that bombardment. And it seems that, oh no, with that bombardment everything is routing in this vicinity. Even the Plogers are wavering and the Death Gods are carrying it hard. Stream of Corruption constantly disrupting their combat and also chipping away their health. But alas, it seems that, yeah, hold on a second, sorry. Yeah, it seems that Vampire Coast might actually win this one again, as I totally mistakenly typed in the scoreboard. Let me just correct it. As yeah, pretty much only the Nurgle Sorcerer Lord is left in combat here. Nothing else to help him kill off the Lamprey's Revenge here. That's a lot of revenge on the Vampire Coast army if you think about it. Vanguard's Revenge, Lamprey's Revenge, and yeah, that is it for the second Nurgle versus Vampire Coast battle. And that shall be victory for Incons, and congratulations to Incons for the victory of the tournament as well, managing to win out in this Wednesday Faction Wars with the Vampire Coast. He was also complaining, it was funny because he was on Discord complaining about everyone picking a Vampire Coast counter when he joined the tournament. But apparently, the Vampire Coast won. So yeah, there's no reason for him to complain anymore about anything being a Vampire Coast counter, because obviously, with Vampire Coast winning the tournament, it is an S tier faction. No doubt at all. And Nurgle also almost won it, so another S tier faction for sure. Last week we have Kiosdorf winning and Korn winning, so both of them are S tiers as well. But yeah, anyways, for the army performances on both sides. Oh shit, we must have missed the first Vanguard's Revenge. We need to go back and rewatch it again. But that Vanguard's Revenge in the end absolutely nuked those Nurglings and even the Plogers as well, and multiple units of the Pestigor. So some very nicely placed Vanguard's Revenge from Incons there. Well, the guns didn't do that much. Really, pretty much Lamprey's Revenge once again holding the line. While unfortunately the Nurgle army push is just faltering due to the sheer number of the zombie chaff, and unfortunately, like, the artillery didn't do much, but I assume most of that value carry were from the Lamprey's Revenge and the Vanguard's Revenge, the two Revenges carrying the game. But yeah, on the other side for the Nurgle push, still a very strong push from Incons. Just unfortunately, these Furies not quite earning back their value. Furies are still quite fragile, unfortunately, and once they start crumbling, they will just quickly die out, unable to recuperate the rest of their value. This is the main problem with Demon's army, right? Once the unit got routed, it is gone completely forever. So yeah, it is very hard for them, especially if they're in a backline disruption due to it's very hard for them to earn back their value, because they'll just jump into the backline and immediately a good player like Incons will countercharge your charge with a bunch of backline guard units like the animated hulks and quickly make mincemeat out of your poor Chaos Fury. So yeah, it's quite rough. But yeah, Plogers this one did really well. This one, not so much, but still, Plogers did some pretty good damage against the Vampire Coast monsters. Nuking, just hacking down those animated hulks, but unfortunately, the Death God's carrying the day. Getting that one Death God was so crucial in the late game there. Just having that elite anti-large to fight the Plogers. Yeah, that was rough. I probably wouldn't have brought the Plogers. I would have just brought I would have just brought 4 throwing axes, Marauder Horsemen, and just keep shooting at the Vampire Coast units. Once, like, I would bring a bunch of throwing axes Marauders, and just try to whittle down the enemy missile units, the handguns, and push, like, using the melee infantry front line to push into the back line and send in those mobility to shut down those handguns as much as possible, and then use the throwing axes to keep kiting away, and they can do some pretty good damage against the Lamprey's Revenge. I feel like Nurgle's anti-large and spell options aren't the best. Yeah, anti-large has never been their strong suit. Throwing axes is probably their best bet in this matchup. I play a similar army against Vampire Coast as Korn. I would just bring like a full front line of Marauders, maybe bring some Bloodletters, or I think I'm split between Bloodletters or Forsaken, because they cost similarly, so you can just swap between the two. I think I would bring Forsaken, just for them being more efficient anti-light infantry chaff units. And if I have enough funds, I'll probably bring Bloodletters as well. But like yeah, also Furies and 3 Marauder Throwing Axes. And then yeah, and then we have Valkyria the Bloody leading the army. Like maybe I'll bring a couple hounds, but I don't really tend to bring hounds against Vampire Coast, because damn, their leadership sucks. They just immediately rout against anything that causes fear anyway. So like all these zombies causes fear, so the Vampire Coast can very effectively deal with hounds, because the hounds are just gonna straight up rout when they got affected by fear, and suddenly 2 more units are moving in to kill them. So yeah, GG to both players though. It's still a very strong rush from Borain there, especially the feint with the Chaos Warhounds at the beginning, luring the enemy defensive troops out of position and exposing the backline Queen Bess and the rest of the missile units. Just that it seems that Nurgle still struggles pretty hard against a missile spam faction like that of the Vampire Coast. Queen Bess definitely a meme option here, but there are some very strong units at play in this game. We need to check out the Vanguard's Revenge again, because obviously we probably missed one. But either ways, the Death Gods did some really good damage, the Lamprey's Revenge as well, while the rest of the Nurgle army here just got worn down pretty hard by a combination of missile firepower, Queen Bess, yeah, and sheer numbers of Vampire Coast. Alright, let's just quickly rewatch that, and then we'll just yeah. First Vanguard deleted 3 units, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's why we need to check it out again. But yeah, GG to Incons, and congratulations for the win. Good game to Borain as well. Very strong performance from both players. We'll be moving into the replay section soon, but first off, let us check out the Vanguard's Revenge of this battle, which is why we're jumping back in. So give me a second there while I download stuff on the background. Alright, cool. Let us just move in. And alright, cool. So are we missing any Vanguard's Revenge? I hope we're not. Oh, this would be a nice opportunity for Vanguard's Revenge. Oh, here we come. Let's go. Oh, Vanguard's Revenge. We've got a Pestigors, 2 Nurglings, 2 Pestigors. Oh my god, that just straight up deleted the... Oh, this might be a game-winning shot there. Deleting roughly 1 unit of Nurgling and 2 units of Pestigors. That was rough. Those multiple units could have done so much there, but because of how the Vampire Coast line up their front line, the Nurgle army was forced to just get stuck on a straight line, and that was a perfect opportunity for the Vanguard's Revenge. And on top of that, Aranessa's net, pinning down the Plague Ogres, preventing them from reinforcing fights earlier, so they're just kind of stuck here, doing nothing, while there's more time for the Animated Hopes and the Death Gods to come back and reinforce the Queen Bess. So yeah, that was a very nice play from Incons for sure, which I unfortunately missed out a bit during the cast. But yeah, I might actually cast this on as a replay for my channel. This is a really fun game for sure, with the multiple devastating Vanguard's Revenge. So yeah, how much did that hit yeah, oh, almost 1,000 gold worth of damage value from that one Vanguard's cast. That is definitely worth the Winds of Magic investment. That was a devastating one. Holy shit. Wish I'd had those pesties against the Death Guard. Yeah, that would have been really useful in the late game, but yeah, that was a huge loss. How many models was that? 68 models down, and most importantly, the HP damage. Man, that would have been so good. I mean, the Borain would have, or Shigidegi on the chat, would have had a way better time if he had those Pestigors in the late game, having the anti-armor units, and also a bit more bodies to support the Plogers in the late game against the enemy elite Albert infantry. And I was sitting for like 20 seconds waiting for the Winds of Magic for that. Albert Death Guard are never to fight any infantry until the end game. Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, definitely Incons was having some really good play in the game. Frankly, I don't bring them often. Yeah, Dev Gods feels a bit out of place on the Vampire Coast roster. They're an expensive elite infantry, which is also at the same time relatively fragile because they don't have that many unit models. But they make up for that. They make up their lack of unit models with a bit more regeneration, with that hunger healing. But other than that, they are not that tanky overall. And if I brought some throwing axes, I could have easily like whittle them down if I brought a corn army, of course. But yeah, it is a rough matchup. It is an interesting unit, but I also like the elite infantry. But yeah, it's just too hard to get them in a fight you won when you can just bring more guns. That is true. And hand cannons, as we've seen in the earlier game, in the first Nurgle versus Vampire Coast game, which unfortunately I did not save, the hand cannons did so much damage against anything that get close. It feels like Death Gods compete with the funds you want to use for mass. Pretty much, Death Gods with halberds are like what, a backline unit, right? So you're spending backline unit on Lamprey's Revenge and Animated Hulks and Rotting Prometheans to guard your backline, and then you need to spend even more money on a Death Guard, which is very expensive, by the way. You can spend, yeah, they cost roughly 2.5 Animated Hulks, so you can get a lot of mass for that. Oh no, with halberds is 1,400 gold, I believe. So yeah, so you can get like you can get at least 2 animated Hulks for 1 Death God. So yeah, it's Crabs and Hulks for the backline to meet Cap, and zombies for the front line, pretty much. And Death Gods doesn't really belong to any of that. Death Gods are better for blob builds, but you don't really play blobs when you're playing Vampire Coast. So halberds are 1,200, RR 1,400. Okay, so you can still buy 2 animated Hulks with 1 single halberd Death Guard. So yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Anyways, I need to download all those replay files and start casting replays. So give me a second there. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more games to cast, and we are so roughly half an hour to an hour for the rough estimate of the stream. Oh wait, yeah. So let me just find those replay files. It should be somewhere in the download folder. Yep, there we go. Okay, Incons. I think we can delete that, and then we have these. Cool. And place. There we go. There we go. Alright, let me just back out of it. Check in the replays again. And yeah. Let's see. We have the first battle here. We have Vampire Coast versus Vampire Counts versus Grand Cafe. That is a brave choice to bring a bunch of Crypt Horrors and Hex Wraiths. Oh, and okay, this is Tequila Sunset versus Big Ketru or Big Kita. Kita? Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to actually pronounce this word, but I just assumed that it's Kita from all the time I was reading SCP, SCP Foundation. But yeah, Tequila Sunset going for Grand Cafe. Damn, that is definitely one of the stronger factions in the game right now. And then versus Vampire Counts. And they brought the Zhanggu War Drum. Oh god. The buffs provided to the surrounding cafe troops is gonna be really good. Oh, wait, what? Okay, what? I believe this map is the Fae Fork, and yeah, the Fae Fork, and for some reason the really weird lighting from that angle casts a big shadow on the battlefield. So Vampire Counts are kind of fighting in a bit of an advantage with the with the kind of like a fog of war, providing some confusion on their end against their enemy. But yeah, anyways, for the army builds here, Grand Cathay going for a front line of Jade Warrior Halberds and a second line of Jade Warrior crossbows. They have decent armor, so even if a zombie summon get thrown onto them, they can hold their own in melee combat until something bail them out or the summon wears off. Peasant long spears forming the wall of the Cathay box, and a Jungle War Drum and an Astromancer. Ooh, that's a lot of war devices. Jungle War Drum providing crucial buffs to nearby units, but I'm not sure what buffs are they using. I don't think they have turned on any of their buffs, but this would be really useful, the melee attack and reload skill one, to just cut through the zombie chaff and also get more damage done with the Jade Warriors. Anyways, we have Jade Lancers for a bit of mass and mobility in the skies, leading the army Celestial General on the Celestial Lion Empress Crowman, the Regiment of Renown Onyx Crowman with their hand grenades, Nangao hand grenades, and Astromancer with a lot of AoE spells, Celestial Comet of Kazandora, and Celestial Lightning. So yeah, a ton of AoE to hopefully clear out zombie chaff, I believe. It's just fair they would die in the sunlight. Yep. But this is moonlight, it's fine. It's fine for them even, they're undead. Anyways, for the undead army here, a front line of skeleton spears and zombie chaff plus the Tithe. Backed up by four crypt horrors. Oh no, Vargo, why did you bring these? These are horrible. But either ways, yeah, also there are no good targets for them to fight. They're just horrible. Don't bring them. They perform absolutely terrible against. Oh, they used to have anti-large, I swear. They don't have anti-large now anymore. And yeah, they absolutely suck. Don't bring them. Von Karstein Vampire Lord with a Wind of Death. Oh god. I feel like Big Katru might have came over from campaign with this kind of army composition. Oh boy. Where are the Hexwraiths? Oh, yep. All the other way on the other side of the battlefield, Vanguard deployed. Now let's just get the battle started. Yeah. Very rare army composition, but I'm not expecting this Vampire Count army have a lot of good performance. Von Karstein Vampire Lord do have their Storm of the Night ability to do some direct damage and slow down enemy flying units, but there is nothing to follow up here. So no Var guys to follow up, so they're just taking damage but not actually suffering anything from the slowing speed. So that was a bit unfortunate, and on top of that, some bombardment from the Empress Crowman just bombed the hell out of the zombies, and yeah, just getting some good damage out. Not that they have a lot of good targets to bomb anyway, so might as well just try to bomb out a zombies, jump in with the Celestial General and the Empress Crowman, and just quickly nuke those zombies, eliminating some of the enemy chaff. Though the Empress Crowman do take some damage in the engagement, so not clean comes for free, I guess, but most of that damage honestly came from the Storm of the Night anyways. Zombie skeletons are now moving in against the Jade Warrior frontline, who are buffed up by the disdain of the Dragon Empire. Winds of Death is coming, but is it an undercast or overcast? Oh, it's an overcast, but a little bit misaimed, so didn't really go directly onto both of the Jade Warriors, so not the most damage. It might be overcast. I'm not actually sure how much damage is the Winds of Death doing these days, but either ways, it's not doing enough damage here. Yeah. While the Comets are absolutely nuking those Tithe and now nuking another unit of zombies, Hexwraiths are trying to get into the back line, but Jade Warriors are countercharging with the Empress Crowman, pushing back those Hexwraiths with their lives. They took more damage than the Hexwraiths, but yeah, with the Empress Crowman reinforcing the fight with the magic damage, the Hexwraiths are not going to have a good time. While the Jade Warriors are just free to keep firing. This amateurly engaging Varkov just received a full wrath of all 3 units of Jade Warrior crossbows and absolutely getting smacked by those crossbow bolts. Another Storm of the Night, this time onto the Celestial General, but he doesn't really care, just shrugging off the direct damage so far. While the Zombie Chaff and the Skeleton Spears plus the Crypt Horrors struggling to break through those Halberd front line there. So yeah, this might be a pretty sound Cathay victory. Another Celestial Lightning bombarding those Skeleton Spears, really clearing out those Skeleton and Zombie Chaff with all those AoE damage. Another Comet. Not sure if it's a Celestial Comet or Comet of Cassandra, but they murdered a lot of zombies and also my frame rate. And yeah, how many kills did the Astromancer have? Almost 200 kills now. Holy hell. X-Rave's getting into a rear charge against the Halberd Warriors, but possibly better to just charge those Jade Warrior crossbows. Instead, some of the Crypt Horrors managed to get through the front line, trying to get to the Jade Warrior crossbows, but that is where the Jade Lances are coming in handy with the long spears, using themselves to pin down those Crypt Horrors, buying time for the Jade Warrior crossbows to pull back and start firing back. Plus the Jungle War Drum providing an immune to psychology and melee attack boost, making these melee units more effective against those Vampire Counts monster. Another comet, this time against deleting some more units of Skeleton Spears. Yeah, some very devastating comets and lightning from the Astromancer, and that shall be victory for the Grand Cathay as they are boxing up Horde. 250 kills on the Astromancer, but only 500 gold worth of damage value. Despite killing so many, it's just all zombie chaff and stuff, so not that much damage value, but the Jade Warrior Halberds held the line very comfortably against zombies and Crypt Horrors, while the crossbows just keep shooting. And yeah, Jungle War Drum's just such a very strong buffing piece for Grand Cathay, while Vampire Coast counts. Unfortunately, I would say the unit selection was not the best. You don't want to bring Vargolf in any circumstances, and Crypt Horrors are not that good either. Vargeist probably would have worked better in this scenario. Storm of the Night to slow down on those Emperor's Crowmen, and then jump them with say Felbat or Vargeist. That would have worked better, and then eliminate the enemy aerial units and then quickly jump onto the Grand Cathay backline, silence them, and start pushing in with zombies and whatnot. But even then, it is still going to be an uphill battle for Vampire Counts. They're just in such a rough spot lately. I kind of pity them. They really need a buff, but a Nagash DLC would come in really handy for that. But we shall see what CA has in store for these undead factions. But it's gonna be a while, because we're not getting those we're not getting the next DLC anytime soon anyways. It's gonna be like what, in December, I think. So December and a bit of January maybe, and yeah, it's gonna be rough. But yeah, either ways, that is this first battle done for the replay section. Now we can save the Grand Cathay versus Vampire Coast later. Let's check out the other battles first. Another Vampire Coast battle, this time against the Wood Elves. Now, usually Wood Elves would counter Vampire Coast, but I do believe that Barbargiani is a relatively new player, so the experience and skills of Incons might allow Vampire Coast to pull ahead. Oh, well, what? But yeah, I would suspect that the experience and skills of Incarns managed to help him pull out victorious in this fight. Well, spoiler alert, we did see Incarns in the final, so yeah, I don't really have to try and hide away any spoilers. Anyways, army builds. Let's watch it in slow motion, where the Vampire Coast is for Vampire Coast and Vampire Count. I kind of get confused sometimes, but yeah, the Coast Army going for a deckhand front line, second line of handguns to provide some solid anti-anything firepower, really. And then further behind, deck gunners to counter enemy skirmishers and and archer units in general, having that long range firepower that are that is way more effective against against infantry formations than your usual carronades, and more accurate than mortars as well. Further back, guarding the backline, animated hulks and the Lamprey's Revenge. Very standard stuff there, leading the army Fleet Admiral of Vampire lore with Gaze of Nagash to shoot back at enemy targets, and it's actually pretty good against missile infantry as well. Invocation of Nahak, and yeah, that's it for the Vampire Coast Army. Do we have any more characters? No, just that. Oh, one thing worth noting is the Shade Wraith Gunners with the Discourage shots that can make enemy route faster, and also they do magic damage, so bypassing that physical resistance on enemy tree units. On the far side, already engaging the Deepwood Scouts are the Felbats, Vanguard deployed, but yeah, for the Wood Elves army. The Wood Scouts are surprised by the fell bats, and Grey Stag Knights are coming in for the rescue on the other side. Also, similarly, Dryads, Wild Riders, and more Weight Watchers Vanguard deployed on the other side. And yeah, just a very kitey army with double glade guards as well. War Dancers, Azure Spears to protect them, and Dryads. More Dryads hidden in the trees in Drycha, providing that leadership and magic support. Penambro Pendulum, Occam's Mind Razor, and Pit of Shades. Now let's get a battle started, as the Fellbats are just straight up jumping into the Deepwood Scouts, trying to disrupt them, and well, there's not much to save them other than the Stag Knights. So, but yeah, the Fellbats don't really want to tussle with the Stag Knights, so they're just kind of harassing the Deepwood Scouts for now. Not really landing. While the rest of the zombie pirate formation are moving up. Well, Baba Gianni is moving up the units on the other side of the battle. We're trying to march over. The front line does not want to get close to the Vemmerco's army because they are just going to get lit up by a ton of deck gunners. While the back here, the Weight Watchers and Dryads are trying to get into position and perform a surround and overwhelm those Vanguard Coast units. I feel like, yeah, definitely these Vanguard deploy units are a little bit too... Is that miscast or friendly fire? Oh, that's a miscast for sure. Wait, what? Did I just... Oh, I definitely missed a Gaze of Nagash. Shooting up the Glade Riders. While the Shade Wraith Gunners are lighting up those Treekin, which can't really move fast enough to get out of range from the long-range firepower. So the Wood Elves are forced to march up now, while the Dryads are still moving out of the tree line. One mistake I would say Babargiani have made is that their Vanguard units are deployed a little too far away from the enemy formation, so they can't really immediately strike their opponent's forces. And all this delay is just giving Vampire Coast more time to keep shooting at those units. And unfortunately, in terms of just sheer long-range firepower, Wood Elf skirmishing forces are no match against Shade Wraith Gunners and 3 other deck gunners. So that is just a lot of damage coming in. Pit of Shades going on top of some of these handguns, while Dryads trying to beat up some animated hawks with their solid damage output. They should be able to eventually win out, especially when Weight Watchers are supporting this fight. But oh, here comes the deck gunners turning around to start aiming down those Weight Watchers. Lamprey's Revenge and animated hawks are coming in. They managed to beat back the Wild Riders comfortably, and now are gonna intercept the Dryads. Deck gunners are lighting up any units that are close enough to get in their range and from afar. But yeah, it's not hard really to get in their range. Anything that gets close by will just get immediately targeted by incons. And including these Weight Watchers who are trying to stay on the edge of the range and start shooting and chipping away the health of all those. Yeah, all those. Are these summon? No, these are not summon. Yeah. Oh, this is the summon Malevolent Dryad. Yeah, they're trying to intrude the backline now, but some of these Dryads and Wild Riders are already pushed back and faltering due to the sheer monstrous presence. Oh god, look at these Grey Stag Knights targeted by multiple units of deck gunners and handguns and got completely deleted in a matter of seconds. They were still kind of full health around here, and they just died by the time they got here. So yeah, that was a pretty brutal loss for the Wood Elves for sure. Yeah, one thing you definitely do not want to do is send in units piecemeal like that. You want to like have all your units ready to pounce onto your opponent's formation immediately at the same time, because that means there are more. Your opponent can't just deal with your threats one by one. They have to try and squeeze out as much micro in the shortest time span to react to your threats. And that is usually when your opponent will make mistakes and allow some of your units to sneak through. Yeah, because if you're attacking, usually you have the control of the rhythm of the flow of the battle. You can dictate when the engagement starts. And instead of just, like, your opponent obviously wouldn't be trying to push out of the box and try to get you when all they have is slow infantry, right? So if you want to attack a box, you need to make sure you have all the units ready to just jump straight into combat ASAP before they all get shot to pieces. So definitely a valiant attempt with the Wood Elf Kite, but I would say definitely could have used deploy the Dryads a bit more aggressively. Skip the War Dancers. You don't want to bring War Dancers because there's really no point in bringing these guys against a Vampire Coast army when they can shoot your infantry to pieces. You want to get your stuff as cheap as possible while still having that Vanguard deployment to just jump your enemy back line and whatnot. Great Stag Knights also not exactly necessary. I would just probably just bring a bunch of Dryads and then spam a bunch of Depot Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards and just get as close to the enemy as possible and get the first volley onto the enemy gunners and start retreating after that. Like with the Swift Shiver Shards, you can definitely nuke those deck gunners with your double shot damage output. But yeah, in this scenario here, Shadow Wave Gunner is getting some insane damage values, shooting up the Treekin and all these expensive Wood Elf missiles, and handguns getting some pretty solid work done as well. Any cavalry that's tried to get close got absolutely deleted by a combination of deck guns and handguns. So yeah, a lot of damage and a lot of damage output for sure. Now let us move on to the third game in the replay section. We have Bahrain's Nurgle versus Chaos Crump High Elves. I believe that is Orc Boy. Is that Orc Boy? No, that's... I think that's... No, that's not Orc Boy actually. Wait, no, that is... I think that might be Orc Boy. That might be Orc Boy. Yeah, I think that might be Orc Boy on Discord. Anyways, for the army build here, Nurgle going for 5 Pasticles. Ooh, that's a lot of Pasticles. And 2 Chaos Knights of Nurgle with Lances, I think. Those are not Lances Knights. Yeah, those are Lances Knights. And a bunch of Furies at the back. And also some Warhounds. Ready to just pounce on the High Elf Archer line. Angels of Decay in the skies. And leading the army, we have Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle of Death with only Fate of Buna. And of course, Crown of Everlasting Conquest. On the other side of the battlefield, Chaos Crumpen, or Orc Boy, I believe, deployed the Sylvan Guard in a staunch straight line. A little bit of a mistake here, because if you deploy them in a staunch straight line, obviously your Sylvan Guards will be covering less ground and gives a little bit more gap in your formation, and also just make your formation more dense and more vulnerable to enemy AoE spells. So definitely want to just deploy your units, like, just kind of imitate the other players, what other players do, and just kind of deploy them in like a checkerboard formation. That would allow you to cover more ground and give your missile units a little bit better line of sight as well to shoot through the gaps in your formation. Anyways, for the rest of the army here, multiple units of archers, one of them the Talons of Torquelada, 1 White Lions of Trace, 2 more spears on the flank. The Pure Main Company, more White Lions in the forest, my god. And I'm not seeing Fireborn here, so probably a big mistake not bringing Fireborn. Their fire damage is really handy against any Nurgle healing. I guess Talons of Torquelada also supplies fire damage, but they're a missile unit. You always have to account for the fact that your missiles are going to get disrupted and unable to shoot, and whatever your Fireborn fighting or your melee cavalry fighting will receive healing. So yeah, anyways, Elarian Reaver Archers to do some skirmishing, and leading the army Archmage of High Magic with Soul Quench and Fiery Convocation and Apotheosis. So that's a lot of AoE spell damage. Anyway, let's see what happens here, as those Elarian Reaver Archers are getting pressured by the Nurgle mobility. I believe they have, they probably have skirmish mode turned on, and they're just running to like the edge of the map instead of running back to the protection of their own formation, and that is going to be rough as they're caught in melee. Soul Quench here probably doing more, probably doing more friendly fire, or they just got charged by the Nurgle Knights. Either ways, Pestigores are hacking at the Sylvan Guard, but the Sylvan Guard are holding firm for now, having a 54 melee defense, giving them a solid lead in terms of sturdiness, but the backline is completely exposed because of the lack of mobility to screen off the Furies and Warhounds. The Furies and Warhounds deployed right behind the High Elf army are now having a free feast on the Archers and the Archers and the Talons of Torquelada. They might have a little bit more melee defense compared to non-armored archers, and a little bit more armor, but that is not going to help them much against dedicated melee units, even if they're just chaff like Furies and Warhounds. The Sylvan Guard are holding, but the Pesco's melee, the armor-piercing melee is slowly equalizing the combat, and now the Chaos Knights with lances are getting into position for a hammer and anvil, and the High Elves really have nothing to counteract that. Oh, there's a noble here trying to snipe out the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle, but he's not going to make it in time. And yeah, I feel like that. Oh, there's also aerial pressure from the Angels of Death, constantly just shooting at the Archmage of High Magic. Nuking her down to half health. Ooh, Fiery Convocation now, right on top of the Pesticles and some Chaos Knights with Nurgle, but Lorraine here very wisely force path the Chaos Knights through the spears and got most of them out of the way, but unfortunately Pesticles and the Furies got nuked by the Fiery Convocation. I feel like this is a foreshadowing of the finals there. As Boraine seems to be suffering quite badly in this faction wars, suffering quite badly from the blobbing up syndrome and getting a lot of their units clumped up on enemy defensive lines and making them very prone to becoming the prime target of AoE breath spells. And that was exactly what happened this battle and in finals. And yeah, White Lions are now finally returning and trying to like duke it out against the Furies, but they don't have the speed of Larian Reavers and the shock damage as a cavalry to really kill the Furies fast enough. And then yeah. And yeah, they are just not killing the Furies fast enough really. They're decent melee combatants, they're strong melee combatants, they just don't have enough burst damage like a mobility unit. And yeah. It's gonna take them some while, and by the time they're finished with the Furies, like the rest of the High Elf army would be gone as well. Archmage is surrounded by a bunch of Furies and getting finished off, and also the Angels of Decay are nearby, throwing in Death's Head, Fate of Yuna deleting the pure main company with Pestigors hacking them down as well. And yeah, that is gonna be GG for the High Elves, and victory will belong to Nurgle. Yeah, let us just fast forward there, and yeah, victory to Nurgle with a very strong Pestigor push with a bunch of mobility, picking off those High Elf missiles and just hammer and anvil them to death. And yeah, that is it for this battle. Ooh, Angels of Death getting a lot of damage done. And yeah. Hey, Mr. Casual, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Just wondering why people like land battle more than domination. Land battle seems less strategy, as you just had on attack. No, actually, for land battles, it's actually I would say it's actually a lot more strategic, especially during the army picking phase, because you can't actually bring a unit and put it in reserve and figure out when you should pull it out. Instead, you have to consider your army composition very carefully from the beginning to like deal with any kind of possible threats from the get-go. So you have to first of all be really strategic with your unit choices, and on the secondly in the combat itself, it's more about like army formations, about like how you coordinate an army, like kind of like a real-world battle, right? In the real-world battle, army versus army, you wouldn't just drip feed your army into certain locations, or at least in an ancient warfare, or even until like until something like say 18th century, 19th century. It is still the same, right? You have a full army laying down formations, and then both armies going at each other's throat with your full strength instead of drip feeding your army to capture points and whatnot. Now, capturing points and whatnot, I feel like would be more suitable for a relatively modern type of warfare, like say Company of Heroes. That makes sense. It's less about formations due to the widespread use of gunpowder, of just small arms fire and artillery and air forces and whatnot. Like, you're trying to secure a point with your forces, with your with firepower and whatnot, with tanks and whatnot, instead of trying to concentrate into a formation and crush your opponent's forces. But for a more classic classic warfare, like say Total War, land battles would fit way more, because again, you're not playing capture the flag with drip feeding forces, and like the conquest. the domination mode doesn't feel like an actual war. It's like small skirmishes happening all over the map, which is why personally I don't really like to play it. It's completely fair if you like to play domination mode more, but for me personally, at least, it's the reason why I like to play Total War is because of that full formation movement. Full formation movement, rather than playing skirmishes. Dom is more arcadey, kind of, yeah, because you're just kind of like keep spamming units and capture the point. You're kind of just keep spamming units to capture the point, and it's less about crushing the opponent's army, but more about whether you can stay on the point the longer. And as a result, there are certain types of tactics which are just, I mean, at the beginning of the domination mode, I kind of cheesed it a bit on the ladder by spawn camping my opponent, just dropping units like right on top of their spawn point, and just cycle charge everything to them. that was funny, not fun, but funny. I can see someone appreciating winning small trades and play the points, but it's just, yeah, it's not something I would personally play. Or like, again, playing Total War for me is like controlling a large-scale army, the full army, and just duking it out with the other player in full strength and trying to crush each other. There can be small skirmishes across the map, but that is only if we choose to do so. If we choose to do so. Like, the game itself is inherently still like a bit two armies going at each other, full strength, crushing each other. And like small skirmishes might happen, but that might be just an appetizer, the preliminary skirmishing phase, or in the late game we only have scattered stragglers left, some depleted units left and we have to go on the skirmishes. But mostly it is still just a full army movement. It actually takes more, I would say it takes more micro and more skills to play land battle, because you have less time to react to everything. Everything is happening in a relatively concentrated area, and everything is happening more all at once. You have more units to control, there are more units engaging, and you just need to pay attention to every detail to the battlefield. And while domination happens at a slower pace, and your units are just more scattered all over the battlefield, and they are less like a full army, you know? They're just fighting on their own in separate locations, and they are not supporting each other. Like, for example, say Grand Cathay, you need to have a whole army together to fully utilize the harmony buffs and the buffs to your army, right? But in domination, you can't really do that. You can scatter your army across the battlefield, but there's nothing guarding your missile units, or not enough units guarding your missile units, and your melee units don't really have the support from the missile. So at that point, your army is just broken apart into small bits of skirmishes, and it's more about like individual units fighting for themselves instead of them synergizing with their friendly units and trying to fight as a whole. But yeah, anyways, that's my 2 cents on domination versus land battles. And yeah, also David kind of had a point there, because CA just dumped domination on us without the choice to let us pick between land battles and domination, and that got quite a bit of disappointment from the frustration from land battles community, and most people either decided just not to play, or they switched over to just playing only in custom battles against other land battle players. So yeah, that was not great. But yeah, it also doesn't replace this domination. Now conquest is a whole different issue, because in essence it is still kind of like land battles, just with a capture point. So it's kind of yeah. Mr. Casual, back from playing Elden Ring. Time to de-rest my Noiska. New DLC has got me hyped. Maybe Noiska will get new units, who knows? But yeah. Anyways, that's enough of me talking about domination. Let's go into this one final replay for tonight's stream. We have Grand Cathay versus Vampire Coast, Tequila Sunset versus Incons. 2 missile factions, but let's see, because they're not exactly on an artillery map here. Although Ooh, neither of them is going for traditional artillery though. On Grand Cathe's side, we have a kind of a melee missile rush, and on Vampire Coast side, we have Queen fucking Bess. Let's freaking go. Anyways, for the army builds here, Tequila Sunset going for a front line of Peasant Long Spears, no Jade Warriors. I am curious, because I would say Jade Warriors with shield would be a pretty good choice in this matchup, and not Halberds, I wouldn't bring Halberds here. Instead, I would just bring Jade Warrior with shields on the front line, and then put the spears at the back line. But anyways, maybe Tequila Sunset has a strat here with the sheer amount of anti-large. Jade Warrior crossbows with a second line. Wait, sorry to just. Okay, I missed. Did I mistaken? Oh, I mistaken. Okay, never mind. It's just regular mortar. My bad. I was looking at the. I saw the Queen Bess at the last game, and I took a glance of the artillery, and I thought it was a Queen Bess as well. Nope, it's just a regular mortar. That was a disappointment. Never mind. Second line of Jade Warrior crossbows, third line of halberds, and then fourth line of present horses to provide a little bit more mass and screen out something, say, like Scurvy Dogs. Once again, Astromancer with Comet of Cassandra and Celestial Comet plus Celestial Lightning. In the skies, Celestial General supported by an Empress Crowman, two Crowmen on the field, one of them a regular Crowman. On the other side for the Vampire Coast, a front line of zombie mobs, a second line of handgun mobs, and a third line of deck gunners, one of them the Shade Wraith Gunners, one single regular mortar, very much a regular mortar, and a hand cannon, providing some burst damage fire support. Actually really useful against Crowmen and whatnot, because Crowmen gets close, get blasted out by the hand cannons, and then the Crowmens are gone. Or anything that get close, really. And guarding these missile units are Animate Hulks, Rotting Prometheans, and no Lamprey's Revenge, possibly. Oh wait, these are gun crabs, so still rather expensive. Oh wait, no, this is the Lamprey's Revenge. These are gun crabs and Rotting Promethean gunnery mob. So yeah, some very solid backline protection. Leading the army is a Lore of Deep Pistol Admiral with Black Purip. Oh, getting a recharge item. So getting the Winds of Magic out even faster. And are they Varga's Revenge? No, Kraken's Pull. This time a different, fully armor piercing AoE explosion vortex damage. So it's gonna be really good against armored blobs, like if the Jade Warrior crossbows and Halberd Warrior stack on each other. But anyways, seems like the Shade Wraith Gunners, after unsuccessfully firing at the Onyx Crowman being blocked mostly by trees, decided to light up those Jade Warrior crossbows instead. And those deck gunners and hand gunners are getting some really good damage done already. Shade Wraith Gunners once again getting blocked by trees. They probably should have just fired at this one, but the other deck gunners are already taking care of these Jade Warrior crossbows. Especially the deck gunners have the shield breaker effect, so they can actually punch through the missile defenses down to 11% from their silver shields. After wait, no, that's bronze shields. Yeah, that should be bronze shields from the beginning. Yeah, bronze shields down to 11% of missile block chance, making those Vampire Coast missiles more effective, while the handguns manage to just rout off the Peasant Long Spears. With the sheer volume of firepower. Crowmen are jumping onto the back line here, trying to shut down the Shade Wraith Gunners. Shade Wraith Gunners took some damage, but the Lamprey's Revenge are here to screen, and the Crowmen are no more. Kraken's Pull, though, with onto these Jade Warriors with shields, doing some really nice damage and disrupting some Peasant Long Spears who are routing away as well. And the Vampire Coast are pretty secure with their backline so far, while the Jade Warriors with crossbows are just struggling to do any meaningful damage to the deck gunners. Handguns, though, have been mostly oh no, only 2 of them has been dealt with, I think, and there are 2 still fighting strong, while the Animate Hulks, after dealing with those bowman units, are now free to engage in the front line and start punching these poor Peasant Long Spears. Now, that does leave the backline open for the Peasant Horsemen to circle around and jump onto, but yeah, things are not looking too hot for the Grand Cathay army. Their front line is mostly broken off. Now they are forced to engage Jade Warriors in the front line, trying to push through, but quite a few of them are stuck on the enemy crabs and Animated Hulks, giving all that free firing angle for the hand cannons to delete this halberd unit straight up. alongside some fire support from the handguns. Another, a Celestial Comet or a Comet Cassandra. I don't know which one is it, but they look pretty much the same. Nuking these pirate mobs, and nice chain lightning. Getting some damage done as well. Oh, okay, so chain lightning, celestial comet, and celestial lightning. Chain lightning getting some damage done onto the handguns, and but yeah, the Vampire Coast monster mob is still holding, just pinning down these halberds, preventing them from pushing an inch. And Lamprey's Revenge, of course, is wait, where's Lamprey's Revenge? Oh, yep, still fighting strong, surrounded by halberds, but they will hold for a while. While over here, Celestial General trying to go after the Vampire Coast backline and disrupt some handguns, but that means he's falling victim to the hand cannon fire. Deck gunners are now firing close by, very much point-blank distance onto the Celestial General. Even the Shade Wave gunners who have been secured by the animated hulks managed to hold their leadership and now just focus firing the Celestial General. The Peasant Horsemen tried to disrupt them and possibly did some pretty noticeable damage to the Shade Wave gunners, but alas, they were pushed back by the animated hulk, and yeah, that was it for the Particular Sunset's Grand Cathay army, I believe. And yeah, that means the Jade Warriors are pretty much falling victim to all these crossfire from deck guns, from the deck gunners, if there are any handguns still surviving. But yeah, I guess the Jade Warriors can try and grind it out. They're a tenacious bunch for sure, and they're quite full in health, but deck gunner is still having so much health left. And the fact that the Grand Cathay army lost their general, wait, where did the general die? Somewhere in here? I can't really see his corpse, but yeah, anyways, the Celestial General just noping out of the battlefield and probably dying in the process means that the peasant leadership are just gonna take a big hit. And yeah, this is looking quite rough for the Grand Cathay army here, as they are running out of melee troops to keep pushing. The Jade Warriors are still relatively healthy, but yeah, the Jade Warrior crossbows with shields are in the forest, but it's falling victim to the Kraken's pull. And animated hulks are just keep pushing back those peasant long spears. The Lamprey's Revenge are here. Wait. Oh, chasing some routed peasants with their regeneration, slowly healing them back up to full health, as they still have 12 whole models left. And over here, animated hulks beating up the Jade Warriors with the help of zombie pirate deck and mobs. Now the peasant horses once again rallied and come back to disrupt the Shade Wave gunners, but with the physical resistance and the terror on the deck gunners, they actually managed to just straight up rout off these peasant horses. Shade Warriors are coming in, trying to push for the Shade Wave gunners, but the discouraging shot from the Shade Wave gunners is more than enough to persuade them to back the hell out of there, and that shall be victory for the Vampire Coast. And yeah, that's it for today's stream. This will be the final battle, and let us have a look at the army performances. Unfortunately, the crossbows didn't really do their work here, getting absolutely annihilated by the deck gunners' crossfire, and also some of the handguns did some pretty good work against both peasants and perhaps some of the Jade Warrior crossbows as well. Mortar did mad damage, and yeah, mostly I think it's the deck gunners carrying the game. If there were crane gunners on the Grand Cathay side, that would have been a very different story, because I feel like crane gunners would be really good in this matchup. They can try to counter snipe the enemy deck gunners, and especially deck gunners are a more densely has a more dense formation. Has a more compact formation, making them better targets for long-range firepower. So deck gunners can actually get beaten by crane gunners. Also, crane gunners have shields. So yeah, deck gunners might actually lose out in a straight-up firefight against crane gunners, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm just guessing here. I haven't played Grand Cathay in a while, and yeah. The halberds didn't really serve any purpose here, because there's not a lot of monsters that need the halberd Jade Warriors. I would say a Jade Warriors with the usual sword and shield would be a better pick in this matchup, just because they are less vulnerable to the handgun fire. They can just walk into the handgun first, being the first volley of first wave of assault. And then you have your second wave of Peasant Long Spears in reserve, and only throw them in if you have to. Plus, their anti-large would be better against the Animated Hulks and the Rotting Promethean Gunnery mobs anyways. Like, they don't have the armor piercing, but you don't try to fight monsters with your armor piercing Grand Cathay melee troops. You try to fight them with missiles, right? Yeah. Crane guns would probably be way better in this one, yeah, for sure. Oh, they have better range as well. Yeah, the crane guns in that case is definitely a better choice against the Vampire Coast. They will probably shoot up deck gunners easier. The only problem is they're way more expensive than deck gunners, so you need to make sure they get their money's worth. But they can deal with deck gunners and can deal with crap, so that is a good. That would, in my opinion, be a better pick here. But anyways, for the Vampire Coast side, yeah, we've already checked it. Pretty nice damage from the Kraken's pull as well. And yeah, that is going to be GG. Thank you everyone for joining my tournament tonight. And I hope you all had a good time, whether you're playing or watching the tournament. And big thanks to Human Boy Yes Yes. If you're still here, you're probably not. But yeah, just leaving it here. Big thanks to Human Boy Yes Yes for rating my stream once again. Really appreciate every time bringing in some curious eyes to my channel. Really appreciate that. And for those of you who are still around, remember to go ahead and sign up for Tequila Sunset Single Lord Tournament tomorrow, the Thursday Champions Brawl. It's going to be a fun, casual game. And I probably won't be able to join tomorrow, but I'll try to join Friday Night Fights this Friday, of course. And let's see what happens. And yeah. GG to everyone, and congratulations for Incons for the win in this tournament. Really appreciate everyone showing up to the tournament. Can't make it fun without you guys playing, and I'll see you in the next one. Tactical Lich, signing out.